Jeremy Camp, Grammy-nominated musician and songwriter, known for his uplifting, inspiring tunes. Got great music. I Still Believe. There Will Be a Day. Anxious Heart. We'll get more on that in a little bit. In addition, he's written a book called I Still Believe, and even made a movie about the guy. He joins me right now. Jeremy, thanks for joining me today, mate.
Thanks for having me, and I'm really excited to announce that I will be coming to Australia soon. And
Straight up, no mucking around right away. Yes,
I want it to be exciting right away. So.
I was thinking maybe we're like kind of twist your arm a little bit and get to it like maybe a bit later, but no, you're coming to Australia. This is great news. Yeah. How long's it been?
10 years, and then I came 23 years ago as well. But this is the first time where I think my whole family's coming with me, my wife and my 3 kids, and so we're making a whole thing out of it. So we're so excited.
Do you tour with your family often?
Yeah, probably about 60% of the time. So they're with me a lot.
Yeah. Are you on tour at the moment?
We just got off a 40-city tour in the States. So
40 cities. I don't think we even have that many cities here in Australia.
I'm not sure if you do. I don't really know. But yeah, it's 40 cities. And then we're heading we're doing a whole world tour coming up. So
wow. We can't wait. Can't wait. And so this is huge because, your latest single, we'll talk about in a little bit, Anxious Heart. This is the second week in a row. Are you aware of this? Second week in a row, it's the #1 song on Australian Christian radio. Did you know that?
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm not joking. This is, I just got the stats in yesterday. 2 weeks in a row, Anxious Heart. So there you go.
Goodness, that's amazing, you guys. Wow. That kind of blows me away. Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, true. I thought
you're really excited to come then.
Well, I thought this was common knowledge to you. I thought, maybe your managers might have got this across, but here I am letting you know. Big news. So there you go. Very well received. And I think this is interesting. And, let's explore that a little bit. How does it feel to be this far along in your career and know that songs that you're writing right now are still resonating with audiences all around the world?
Yeah, I think that's one of the most bizarre things for me that blow me away and very humbling, because I never thought 21 years into this that God would still be using these songs in people's hearts. And I think the good thing about it, though, is it's left me in a very huge state of gratitude, where I feel like I'm on borrowed time. And so for me, though, it's not like I put my whole heart into it. So it's not like I'm doing these songs and then I'm kind of half-hearted into it because I've been 21 years into it. I am probably more excited about what I'm doing than ever before. And I'm serious. I think a lot of it because I've grown a lot and I've matured a lot. I hope so, after 21 years.
Well,
I hope so. We all have our issues. But I feel like for me, it's one of those things where God keeps downloading songs and things on my heart. And I feel like creatively, it keeps increasing. And vocally, spiritually, all those things combined have been happening for the past 21 years. And I'll keep doing this with all my heart until that stops.
Well, I was going to ask you, actually, because it's interesting. Could you expand on that a little bit? How has your songwriting and album pulling together, that whole process and the creative songwriting process, and the production of music, right?
Yeah.
How has that process kind of changed and evolved over the years?
I think for me, I try not to get stuck in a rut, because I know that, vocally, I want to get better. I want to get better songwriting. I want my production to be top notch. And so I constantly will, I'll try something new. I'll try a different producer, you know what I mean? Or I'll try a guy I've never written with, like, hey, you want to write a song with me? And, usually I come and direct the whole thing because all the songs are very personal to me, but I'll have somebody come in now. And when I first started writing, I never had co-writers. I always just write all my songs. And now it's like, okay, here's a song I have. Will you help me kind of is there a way you can see it, be better? And I love that, because I think that's allowed me now with stepping out in that, and different producers allow me to hopefully in a sense, increase in relevance in what I'm doing and not just stay stagnant. And I think because God's given me this platform and given me this opportunity, I want to use it to the fullest, and I want to put my whole heart into it.
Oh, that's such a beautiful thing, to be able to open ourselves and be vulnerable with the songwriting, which is such a personal experience. And yet here you are saying, hey, no, it's going to be richer if we collaborate. It only becomes better, not worse. So that's great. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about, because you've beyond music, you've written the book, you've got a movie made about you. I was going to ask the question, if there was ever an actor that played you in a movie, who would you pick? But we won't go there because
We don't need
you know,
to.
no need to. But how has your story through I Still Believe, how has that impacted people around the world and inspired people?
Yeah, man, that's a question that's blown my mind away.
Well, it's
Because
probably a question that you could probably, it'd be a different answer on every single day of the week. So,
yeah,
and
because
we
it's
get that. You don't need to be exhaustive in this answer, but
no.
today, how does it feel for, in April 2023, how do you answer that question?
Well, I think one of the things that's blown my mind is that it's been I probably have 88 to 90 something countries that it's been in that people have messaged in and said this has impacted my family or impacted our community, literally those type of things.
Mm,
I think for me it's that kind of impact is something that only God can do. Like, and I don't say that to be hyper spiritual, it's only God can do it. Like, it's not, I'm not this great man or I have this great stuff. It's like, no, God just said, I want to use your story. I could have used lots of other stories, but I'm going to choose you. And I'm like, okay. Kind of blows me away that he would actually choose out of all these beautiful stories. Like, he allowed me to be the one. And he still does that with other people too. But it's one of those things where I have not taken it for granted. So I think your question is I haven't taken it for granted. And I've seen the impact on communities and families, and it still happens because it's still getting out there. And I think for me, with music, now with the movie, crazy gratitude. So
yeah. Oh, it's incredible. It's humbling, isn't it?
oh,
Um,
I wish I could
um,
even tell you how humbling it is. You know what I mean? Because it sounds so a cliche word and it's such a word that's overused, but actually is very humbling, bro. Like, I've done
wow.
this for 21 years and I just can't believe it. So I'm very thankful. And just in the fact that honestly, that I've been had such excitement about us coming to Australia. And I'm like, really? Like, why? Sometimes it's what I feel like. I'm like, okay, but it makes me so excited. I want to bring my
Uh,
family and I want to, put my whole heart into it. So when I'm there, I mean, I'm gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna give 100%,
wow.
So
Well, thank you for taking the time to answer that question, honestly and humbly as well. That's awesome. Is it because so you come into Australia, and how do you engage with those songs that you've been performing for years and years and years, in an honest way, and make sure that it is a real experience and is 100% all you there every night, night in, night out, 40 cities in the States. We haven't heard the official, like, if you're coming to Brisbane or not, but may I be as bold to say as you can't come to Australia without coming to Brisbane. That's just the way that it is. So we can't wait to see you. Okay, so two questions off the back of that. How do you engage with those songs when you come to Brisbane? How are you going to engage with them? And what are some of the songs that you just can't wait to play here in Brizzy as well?
okay. Honestly, it's not always easy. Like when I do 40 cities, it's like it's the same thing every night. And because we have a set that we do. But I think one of the things that we've really tried with my group is that, like people, like they pray before they go on, like say a quick prayer and they go on. We've always, since my whole career started, we have a prayer meeting. So what I mean by that is, like, we get in the bus and we're all of us praying and we're all asking God and we're all pressing in and we're all there together. Because I can't do it on my own. It's like, it's funny because, you have Aaron and Hur that lift up Moses' hands. It's like, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I can do it my own. I'm Jeremy Camp. I'm the solo artist. So I could go up there. It's like, no, I need Aaron and Hur to lift my arms up. And I have that in my group and I have that with me and I have those people around me
Wow.
that lift my arms up. And so it's not always easy, but we press in. Like, we really press in, bro, where it's beautiful. So that's kind of, how you keep it, fresh. And I think the songs, I think honestly, gosh, man, I would say The Way, There Will Be a Day, Dead Man Walking, of course, Anxious Heart. There's so many songs I can't wait to play. And it's interesting because sometimes you can find analytics of which songs have done the best in different countries, And so it's kind of fun because I've had so many singles and so many songs and I'm going, what do I play? I can't play them all. And so I'm really excited to ask you now, what do you think I should play?
Oh, okay, definitely. Wow, yeah, yeah. Well, here in Brisbane, we've
Yeah.
been really enjoying in recent years. I mean, I know that there is a lot of movement around. I Still Believe,
Yeah.
but Dead Man Walking, you've already mentioned it, and Anxious Heart. Those two songs, we've got a lot of feedback saying, "Hey, we love that." So to be able to play it, hear it live, gee, that'll be great. Okay, so I would love to talk a lot further about a lot of. I had a bunch of other questions, but we don't have time for that. But what I do want to hear is just quickly, would you be able to just tell us, 30 seconds, the song Anxious Heart, what does it mean to you, and then introduce it for us here on Brisbane's 96.5.
Yeah, I went through a really difficult time of anxiety, and God had to really speak to me because I was going through panic attacks and all these different things. And he spoke to my heart because I was asking God, what is it? And he said, you're holding on to three things you're not trusting me with. And it was loving. It wasn't anything intended. And he says, you're holding on to your family, your future, and your finances way too hard. You got to let them go. And I finally just let it go. And that peace that surpasses all understanding, it really came in and guarded my heart and took a hold of me. And, it's interesting because that song in particular came out of that time. I'm just going, here was my experience. And here's what God did, reaching down into, it was a dark place I was in. He reached down into my dark place, the first part of the chorus says, you're the light when my world turns dark. You hold me together when I'm torn apart, when my thoughts have gone way too far. You're the calm for my anxious heart. And he really is. When you lay it down at his feet and you say, God, I'm sorry for not trusting you, there's a peace that he gives you that is unexplainable. Hey, what's up? This is Jeremy Camp. This is my song Anxious Heart on Brisbane's 96.5.